Good afternoon po.
Good afternoon.
Welcome po sa DPWH Sorsogon 2nd District Engineering Office, Barangay Payawin, Bulan, Sorsogon. Today is July 29, 2026. Scheduled for today's pre-bid conference is for the contracts 26FL0038, construction, completion of multipurpose building, tourism building, Barangay Macabari, Barcelona, Sorsogon, Barangay Macabari, Barcelona, Sorsogon. 26FL0050, construction of road, Barangay Zone 4 Bulan, Sorsogon, Zone 4 Bulan, Sorsogon, and 26FL0053, construction, completion of public water supply system, Barangay Coron-Coron, Matnog, Sorsogon, Barangay Coron-Coron, Matnog, Sorsogon. Present here today for today's pre-bid conference are the following: Joanna C. Calagos, Back Chairman;
Present.
Levi D. Pura Jr., Back Vice Chairman; Jesalu R. Almilan, Back Member;
Present.
Cecil L. Delisin, Back Member;
Present.
Dave Clint B. Almilan, TWG, Present po; Rachel Joy P. Rocha from Planning and Design Section; Nathaniel B. Alegre, Back Secretariat. Madam Chair, for today's pre-bid conference, meron na po tayong quorum at wala pong representatives from contractors present here today.
Okay, since we're back to work, this pre-bid conference is now called to order. The agenda for this pre-bid meeting are as follows. First, basic contract data, requirements of bidding documents, eligibility criteria, documents to be submitted by the bidder, including technical and financial proposal, criteria and procedures for the eligibility check, preliminary examination of bids, detailed evaluation of bids, post qualification of work, questions, comments from bidders, and replies about and other representatives of the procuring entity, summary of proceedings including bid bulletins to be issued, common reasons for bidders' disqualification, and other matters. And to discuss the basic contract data is Engineer Russell.
Thank you all for basic contract data with contract ID 26FL0038 with contract name Construction Completion of Multipurpose Building, Tourism Building, Barangay Macabari, Barcelona, Sorsogon, 12.819925 North and 124.153550 East. With contract location Barangay Macabari, Barcelona, Sorsogon. The approved budget for the contract is 2,970,000 pesos. The source of fund is the GAA FY 2026 with contract duration of 126 calendar days and 26 calendar days for the predetermined unworkable number of days. Cost of bidding documents is 5,000 pesos and the submission of bids is scheduled on August 13, 2026 until 10 a.m. and opening of bids shall proceed immediately after closing receipt of bids. Major category of work is BICWOPLC. For the project description, we have first the scope of works. The project covers the completion and rehabilitation of the existing tourism building, including but not limited to the following. The first, A, existing building repair. Number 1, wall finishes and cladding, repair of damaged wall surfaces, replastering of designated interior and exterior walls, installation of architectural wall cladding based on approved plans and specifications. As for the waterproofing and painting, application of waterproofing system on moisture-prone areas such as toilets, exterior walls, and other designated sections. Surface preparation, priming and painting of all interior walls, exterior walls, ceilings, and architectural components. For the doors and windows po, supply and installation of additional doors and windows, installation of frames, hardware, locks, hinges, and accessories, necessary modifications to accommodate new openings. For the carpentry and metal works, we have the fabrication and installation of a wooden staircase, fabrication and installation of vertical tubular steelworks including railings, framings, and other architectural metal components. As for the building utilities, for the plumbing works, repair of existing plumbing system, installation and extension of water supply lines, installation of sanitary fixtures and drainage improvements. For the electrical works, upgrading of electrical wiring systems, installation of lighting fixtures, installation of switches and convenience outlets, and electrical panel modifications as requested. And moving on to the civil and exterior works for ground pavement, there would be site clearing and preparation, ground leveling, construction of additional exterior concrete pavement and walkways. For tiling works naman po, installation of floor and wall tiles for comfort rooms, installation of additional floor tiles in existing rooms. And moving on, we have the objectives to complete and rehabilitate the existing multi-purpose building in Barangay Macabari into a fully functional tourism building that will support tourism development, community activities, and public service delivery. The specific objectives are as follows: complete the unfinished architectural and engineering components of the building, repair deteriorated portions of the existing structure, improve the functionality, safety, and accessibility of the said facilities, upgrade plumbing and electrical system to meet operational requirements, enhance the building's aesthetic appeal through modern architectural finishes, improve surrounding site development for better accessibility and public convenience, provide a sustainable facility that promotes tourism, local livelihood, and community development. Shown po are the digital photos taken during site validation and the certifications form that proves or certifies that the project uses the updated CMPD second semester and other related cost references. This is the environmental clearance which says that it has been applied for. For the detailed engineering design plan, we have the cover page of the plan, the site development plan, vicinity map, and the location map, as well as the perspectives and floor plans of the site project and the typical details for doors, windows, schedules, and the plumbing and electrical works or plans. Moving on to the requirements of bidding documents, instruction to bidders, general conditions of contract, special conditions of contract, bid data sheet, specifications or the DPWH Blue Book Volume 2 and 3, drawings with quantities and forms. For the bid data sheet, ito po yung ating bid data sheet. All are downloadable through the DPWH website or the filters, as well as the special conditions of the contract and the bill of quantities. For the minimum manpower requirement for the project manager, general experience needed must have handled infrastructure projects. For the project engineer, it must be a DPWH accredited project engineer. For the materials engineer, same po, dapat DPWH accredited materials engineer. General construction foreman must have handled similar projects. Safety and health officer must have undergone the 40-hour basic construction safety and health training. For the minimum equipment requirement, we have the cargo or service truck. Required number of units is 1 unit and 1 bagger mixer, 1 unit. Moving on, we have the basic contract data for contract ID 26FL0050 with contract name, construction of roads in Barangay, Zone 4, Bulan, Sorsogon, Section 1 with Station 0 to Station 0 plus 108, Section 2, Station 0 to Station 108 as well, and Section 3, Station 0 to Station 0 plus 108. Contract location, Barangay Zone 4, Bulan, Sorsogon. The approved budget for the contract is 4,802,000 pesos. For the source of fund, it is from the FY 2026 GAA with contract duration of 37 calendar days and 7 calendar days pre-returning and workable days. Cost of bidding documents naman po is 5,000 pesos. Submission of bids is scheduled on August 13, 2026 until 10 a.m. and opening of bids shall proceed immediately after closing receipt of bids. Major category of work is RCP. For the project description, we have first the scope of works. This project involves the rehabilitation of the existing road with pavement widths of 3 meters and 2.8 meters in specified sections, providing a 1-lane concrete roadway with a PCCP thickness of 0.23 meters. It includes the construction of a closed-type line tunnel with dimensions of 600 millimeters by 700 millimeters and installation of solar-powered streetlights. For the objective, the proposed project road aims to first, provide accessible and safer routes for residents. Next, improve delivery of goods and services to and from the barangay. Promote economic development by connecting the barangay to nearby markets and business centers. And enhance quality of life by reducing travel time and transportation costs. Shown po again are the geotag photos taken during site verification and certifications, as well as the environmental clearance. And for the detailed engineering design plan, we have the cover page of the said plan and the schedule of quantities, the vicinity map, location map, and key map, general notes, and the straight line diagram and typical details of the said plan. For the requirements of bidding documents, una po, kailangan po ng instruction to bidders, general conditions of contract, special conditions of contract, with data sheet, specifications from the DPWH Blue Book, Volume 2 and 3, drawings and bill of quantities, and forms. For the bid data sheet, shown po the sample of the bid data sheet, as well as the special conditions of the contract and the bill of quantities. Again po, all are downloadable through the DPWH website on PhilJobs. Minimum manpower requirement for the project manager, general experience must have handled infrastructure projects. For the project engineer, must have handled similar projects. For the materials engineer, must be a DPWH accredited materials engineer. For the general construction foreman, must have handled similar projects. Safety and health officers, correction po pala. For the project engineer, the general experience needed must be a DPWH accredited project engineer. For the safety and health officer, must have undergone 40 hours basic construction safety and health training. For the minimum equipment requirements, for the dump truck, required number of units is 1 unit, payloader 1 unit, backhoe with breaker 1 unit, motorized road grader 1 unit, cargo or service truck 1 unit, water pump or truck 1 unit. And finally po, for the basic contract data with contract ID 26FL0053 with contract name, construction completion of public water supply system, Barangay Coron-Coron, Matnog, Sorsogon. Contract location, Barangay Coron-Coron, Matnog, Sorsogon, with an approved budget of contract of 2,970,000 pesos. Source of fund is the FY 2026 GAA with contract duration of 6 to 8 calendar days and 16 calendar days of predetermined unworkable number of days. Cost of bidding documents is 5,000 pesos. Submission of bids is scheduled po on August 13, 2026 until 10 a.m. and opening of bids shall proceed immediately after closing receipt of bids. As well as for the major category of work, it is under FWSL1. For the project description, we have the scope of works. The scope of work for this project includes the completion of the public water supply system in Barangay Coron-Coron, Matnog, Sorsogon. Works cover the construction of a source tank and a distribution tank, installation of a high-density polyethylene or HDPE transmission pipelines connecting 2 tanks, and the installation of all necessary pipe fittings, valves, and other appurtenances required for the efficient water conveyance. It also includes site development, testing, commissioning, and other miscellaneous works necessary to make the water supply system fully operational. For the objectives, its main objective is to improve the reliability, efficiency, and sustainability of the existing public water supply system in Barangay Coron-Coron through the construction of water storage facilities and installation of a durable transmission pipeline. For the specific objectives, first, construction of a source tank and a distribution tank to improve water storage and distribution. Second, installation of a high-density polyethylene HDPE transmission pipeline connecting the source tank and the distribution tank. Third, improve efficiency and reliability of water conveyance within the existing water supply system. And fourth, strengthen the overall performance and operational life of the public water supply infrastructure. Shown po again are the geotag photos and the environmental clearance and the certifications. For the detailed engineering plan and the requirements of bidding documents, instruction to bidders, general conditions of contract, special conditions of contract, bid data sheet, specifications from the DPW, Blue Book Volume 2 and 3, drawings, bill of quantities, and forms. Shown po are the sample for the bid data sheet, the special conditions of the contract, as well as the bill of quantities. For the minimum manpower requirement, for the project manager must have handled infrastructure projects. For the project engineer must be a DPWH accredited project engineer. For the materials engineer must be a DPWH accredited materials engineer. For the general construction foreman must have handled similar projects, as well as for the safety and health officer must have undergone the 40 hours basic construction safety and health training. For the equipment requirement, for the dump truck, the required number of units is 1 unit, the backhoe with breaker 1 unit, water truck or pump 1 unit, cargo or service truck 1 unit.
Key points. Key points. The lowest calculated responsibility will be used as the criteria for award. The amount of advance payment is 15% of the total contract price to be made in lump sum. All progress payment shall be first charged against the advance payment until the latter has been fully exhausted at the option of the procuring entity. The contractor shall submit the program of work to the procuring entity within 10 days of delivery from the notice of award. Submission of receipt of bids. We follow the 2-envelope system where the first envelope contains the eligibility and technical documents, while the second envelope contains the financial proposals. Our bid validity is 120 calendar days from the date of the award. Sealing of markings of bid, yan po original technical, original financial, shall then be closed in a single envelope marked original bid. Ganun din po sa ating copy 1, the original bid and then copy 1 shall then be closed in a mother envelope. Each envelope should contain the name of the awarded bid, name and address of the bidder, recipient, back, procuring entity, and the markings do not open before the date and time of the opening. Unsealed and unmarked bids shall not be accepted. Not compressed and not password protected shall not be accepted. Improperly sealed and marked bids shall be accepted. Improperly compressed and password protected shall be accepted, provided that the contractor acknowledges the condition of the bid as submitted to the back. Submission and receipt of bids. For bid modification, bid modification shall be submitted before the deadline of submission of bids. Bidders shall not be allowed to retrieve its original bid, however shall submit a new bid equally sealed, properly identified and linked to its original bid and marked as a modification. For letter of withdrawals must be received prior to the deadline for submission and receipt of bids. For bids withdrawn within the interval between the deadline and expiration of bid validity, the bid security shall be forfeited. For electronic bid submission, bidder shall send another bid equally secured, properly identified, and labeled as a modification of the one previously submitted. The time indicated in the latest bid receipt page generated shall be the official time of submission. Meron po tayong 2 modes of submission of bid, either through manual submission of bid or through electronic submission of bid. Ang bidder may opt only one mode lang po sa pag-submit ng bid. For manual submission of bid, yan po sa Box Secretariat Office, DPWH Sorsogon 2nd District Engineering Office, Barangay, Bulan, Sorsogon. For electronic submission of bids, yan po sa electronicbids_sorsogon2 at dpwh.gov.ph. Eligibility criteria. The following persons or entities shall be allowed to participate in the bidding of infrastructure projects. Letter A, duly licensed Filipino citizens or sole proprietorships, partnerships to be organized under the laws of the Philippines or PERS, or have at least 60% of the interest belongs to the citizens of the Philippines. Corporations duly organized under the laws of the Philippines, and of which at least 60% of the outstanding capital stock belongs to the citizens of the Philippines. Cooperatives duly organized under the laws of the Philippines are persons, entities forming themselves into a joint venture. Foreign bidders may be eligible to participate in the procurement of infrastructure projects when provided for under any treaty or international or executive agreement as provided in Section 4 of the Act and the IRR of RA 12009. Bidders must have a valid pickup license, must have a single largest completed contract that is similar to the contract we bid of at least 50% of the ABC. The SLCC shall be supported by the owner's certificate of final acceptance issued by the project owner other than the contractor, or a final rating of at least satisfactory in the CPES or similar performance and monitoring system. Contractors under small A and small B categories without similar experience, provided the cost of the contract we bid is not more than the ARCC of registration. Bidders must have an NFCC at least equal to the ABC. Eligibility and technical documents to be submitted by the bidders. Contractors, applicants who wish to participate in this bidding must be in the document request list DRL in the PhilJobs website and secure a printout copy showing that they are included in the list and are encouraged to enroll in the DPWH Civil Works Application CWA at the DPWH Procurement Service, 5th floor, DPWH Building, Bonifacio Drive, Port Area, Manila. While those who are already enrolled shall keep the records current and updated. Contractors' eligibility to bid on the project will be determined using the DPWH Contractor Profile Eligibility Process, CPEP, and subject for further post-qualification. We encourage our bidders to enroll in the CWA to facilitate the fast evaluation of their eligibility. If they are enrolled, these are the documents they have to submit. Pickup license and registration in case of joint venture, statement of all its ongoing government and private contracts, statement of bidder's single largest completed contract, computation of the NFCC, valid joint venture agreement if applicable. If hindi naman po naka-enroll sa CWA, ito pong mga documents na kailangan submit. PhilJobs certificate and registration, platinum membership, pickup license and registration in case of joint venture, statement of all its ongoing government and private contracts, statement of bidder's single largest completed contract, computation of the NFCC, valid joint venture agreement if applicable. Mandatory requirements: bid security in the form of cash or manager's check, bank draft, bank guarantee, 2%. Surety bond, callable upon demand, 5%. Or you can submit po yung bid securing declaration. Please be guided po ng ating RA 12009 sa format po ng ating bid securing declaration. Project requirements: organizational chart for the contract we bid, list of contractors' key personnel, list of contractors' major equipment units owned, lease, or under purchase agreement. Latest General Information Sheet, GIS, reflecting the beneficial ownership information duly received by the Securities and Exchange Commission. For corporations lang po ito. ISO 9001:2015 certification or its latest version as applicable in Department Order 110 Series of 2024. Omnibus Sworn Statement, duly notarized. Please be guided po ng ating RA 12009 sa format po ng ating Omnibus Sworn Statement. Statement of all ongoing government and private contracts. The statement of the bidder of all ongoing government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, if any, whether similar or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract will be. The statement shall include all information required in the bidding documents. Dapat po lahat po ng mga ongoing ng ating mga contractors nakadeclare po sa ating statement of all ongoing. Any po misdeclaration shall be grounds for disqualification. Yan po ang sample natin bid securing declaration, omnibus sworn statement. Any omission din po sa mga clauses ng mga documents ito shall also be ground for disqualification. For financial proposal, ang laman naman po niyan ay bid form, summary bid process, bid prices in the bill of quantities, detailed estimates including a summary sheet indicating the unit prices of materials, labor, and equipment, cash flow by quarter, month, and payment schedule. Other documents required in the bidding documents. please be guided po ng ating RA 12009 sa panibagong format po ng ating bid form. Any omission din po sa mga clauses ng ating bid form shall be grounds din po for disqualification. For detailed evaluation of bid, ang purpose po niyan is to determine the lowest calculated bid by establishing correct calculated prices of bids. Ranking calculated total bid prices from lowest to highest. Ang method po is a non-discretionary criterion which shall be used, which shall include consideration of completeness of bids and minor arithmetical corrections. In case of discrepancies between bid price in figures versus bid price in words, bid price in words shall prevail. Total price per items versus the unit price for the item times the quantity. The unit price for the item times the quantity shall prevail. Stated total price versus the actual sum of prices of component items. The actual sum of prices of component items shall prevail. Unit cost in the detailed estimate versus the unit cost in the bill of quantities. The unit cost in the bill of quantities shall prevail. Reminders po sa ating reader of the no contact rule, prohibition on communication with bidders from bid evaluation until the award of contract. Purpose qualification naman po, ang purpose po niyan is determine whether the lowest calculated bid complies with and is responsive to all requirements and conditions as specified in the bidding documents to be declared as the lowest calculated and responsive bid. Ang method po is a non-discretionary pass or fail criterion which shall be used to verify, validate, and ascertain all statements and documents submitted by the lowest calculated bid. In compliance po with DO9 series of 2012, if a proposed key personnel, technical personnel is an employee of the bidder and working on another project at the time of the bidding, the bidder shall submit a certification that 1. The personnel will be pulled out from the ongoing project once the bidder is awarded the contract. 2. He/she will be replaced with another person with equal or better qualifications as certified by the head of the implementing office. Equipment verification, also to be verified during post-qualification, is the set of equipment pledged by the bidder. The bidder should specify in the submitted bid the location of the equipment where they can be inspected. If any piece of the equipment is not in the specified location, then the bidder shall be post-disqualified. Common reasons for bidders' disqualification. Letter A, late submission of bids without valid reason. Letter B, submission of patently insufficient bid. Under patently insufficient bid, nandyan po ang submission of expired field-job certificate of registration. Letter number sheet, failure to include in the certificate of employment contract agreement among permanent personnel and staff of the firm and curriculum vitae. Failure to submit the required bid form. Submission of incomplete, insufficient, or defective documents due to the non-inclusion or omission of mandatory provisions and statements of the required bid forms. Submission of bid from bid securing declaration, omnibus form statement, joint venture agreement without the legal name, capacity, or signature of the bidder or its authorized representative. Nomination of key personnel of a profession different from what is required by the bidding documents. Failure to submit the required certification of key personnel as per Department Order Number 9, Series of 2012. Failure to comply with the minimum number of key personnel and equipment. Failure to submit proof of ownership, lease, or purchase agreement of pledged equipment. Insufficient NFCC, insufficient SLCC. Thank you po.
Okay, so may mga questions pa po? Clarifications? So, kung wala na po, so display